Yeah, St. Augustine. Traveling is like reading a book where staying in one place means you only read one page. But exploring
Oh,
the world lets you experience all its stories, cultures, perspectives, and making your understanding of life richer and broadening your mind.
I love that.
So this is the, I think that that was part of my, understanding of life because, you see these beautiful books back in the day. I used to read like when I was a kid, I used to have these National Geographic magazines.
Yeah.
I'm like, what cool cultures are these? What cool places these are?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if we do this thing where I go to Egypt and I go see this I go see Cairo, was it Cairo Festival City?
Yeah.
It's this gigantic place. And there's just gigantic IKEA. I'm like, why am I here? I didn't come to Egypt to go to IKEA.
Yeah.
I want look at I want a proper experience.
Yeah.
And this is where you realize how people live and how people do things because
Uh,
you're doing something that is not of your own. And that rips away your ego. It rips away your who you are because you
mm,
realize the world is a bigger and bigger place.
mm.
And we should give it love and understanding because this is what opens our minds and our horizons of what the world is really like.
Yeah.
And then understanding our fellow neighbors and because these are also people who are us.
Right.
But if we put our bubble, they're always going to be strangers.
Welcome back to the Calling Code with Mina Salib, a place where we speak to people who are driven by excellence and led by faith. Today, I'm really excited to be joined by my friend, world-class artist and photographer, Tony Manias, known globally as Belovedful. Tony is a visual storyteller whose work transcends borders, cultures, and human experience. Tony is a National Geographic Contributor, Adobe Artist-in-Residence, TED Talk alumni, and a TEDx speaker, and globally recognized for his ability to capture beauty and love using simply his heart and a camera lens. Today, we unpack the moments that really shaped his professional artistic career, the stories behind his most powerful images, and what it truly means to live a life rooted in calling rather than comfort. And with that, I want to introduce you all to Tony. Tony, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor.
Thanks, man. Thanks for coming on. I know I'm catching you after a bunch of travel. I think you're back home in your office. Dope office, by the way.
Thank you.
And yeah, I wanted to just I was telling you earlier, like I was going through, your Instagram, and I just listened. I recently listened to your TEDx talk that you gave, and I was really moved. I actually shared it with you know, just on my profile, and um, the amount of, I think, emotion that you spoke with and passion you spoke with, and the amount you were able to really take a lot of the moments and experiences that you captured through your travels and through your camera lens,
Yeah.
your world class photographer, really moved me. And I think you moved a lot of people. I saw a lot of reactions on the TEDx talk and on
Yeah.
social media. And I wanted to just chat with you about what it's like to be a citizen of the world, what it's like to really capture these moments and get a sense of, both love and pain and all of these things that you witness as you're kind of capturing these moments, and get a sense of your story, your background. We'll get into all that. But
Yeah.
with that, I just want to start off first question. Who is Tony Manias?
Uh, uh, well, funny enough, my mom's calling you right now, so I am my mother's son.
Oh, good. Good. Do you want to
Uh,
take it?
no. I'll call her back. Don't worry.
Okay.
We're okay. Um, uh, who is Tony Manias? Okay, so for me, I don't know, man. I'm a messenger. I am just here in this world to show what the beauty is in this world as a photographer, as a person. Also, I try to um kind of be a pillar of love, even though and light, even though it's like a very hard thing to do. Obviously, this is why it's very hard to be a Christian in general.
Mm,
But try to be that pillar and at the same time show that in my photos.
Mm,
So, you know, I think I just go about the world just walking around and just seeing things. And then, something stops me. I'm like, oh, this is beautiful.
mm,
And I stop and take that photo. And
football.
that's usually what it is. And that's who I am as a person. Um, I mean, if we want to get to the I have a dog, I got a cat. I live in Chicago. I lived in Cairo for like a good 10 years.
Huh.
I used to be a doctor before I became a photographer.
Com-
Right.
Common theme with a lot of Egyptians I talk to.
Yeah, it's just that, it's interesting because I even remember when living in Egypt, the thing is that if you are smart, you are a doctor.
Yeah,
There's no other way to go around it. There's no other way to do it because
yeah,
if you send away whatever the heck it is, where they at the end of the year, if you get a high score,
yeah,
you're
yeah.
automatically a doctor. Doesn't matter if you want to do this or you want to do that. Doctor, you have to be. So, and I think a lot of them also left because they're also creatives. They want to
Yeah,
be something else. They have something to share with the world
yeah,
other than, operating on someone or
yeah,
there's no,
yeah, yeah.
what are you complaining about? What do you need? Like there's a way to do it and it doesn't always have to be the medical front, doctor, lawyer,
Right,
engineer, the top three.
right.
So,
Top three.
yeah, right. And I left that just, for many reasons. But I think it's funny enough because the medical missions are the ones that started me to like when I was doing like these missions across the world. That's what started me into really photography, I would say, or or what I was doing at least. Right?
That's really cool. So I was going to ask, like, how did you get into this world? Somebody gave you a camera, put it in your hand, and said, God bless you. You have the skill set, or
Yeah.
so. Yeah. How did you decide that photography would be your lens into the creative world?
Um. Okay. So I don't know if everyone else knows about what, but I used to do these Egyptian videos back in the day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Can you give a brief background on them?
So I used to be this YouTube Egyptian comedian. Back in the day, I was that guy, and I was the only person. I was literally the only Egyptian on YouTube at that point in time.
Damn.
And always, yeah, because Egypt didn't have a voice at that time. It was still like
Yeah. Yeah.
pre-revolution. And
Yeah.
I was there and I was just like, and I'm giving the cops a voice. I'm giving the Egyptians a voice on YouTube, and I'm just like doing this thing.
Yeah.
Um, and I needed an escape from medical school. So that was my creative outlet at the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
just like, okay, I'm in Egypt at the time. I'm surrounded by Egyptians.
Right.
I'm having this like I have all of this coming my way. I'm like, okay, I got to do something about this, right?
Right.
Um it's the inspiration of the Egyptians around me that made me want to do it, right? Because I was surrounded by hilarity, you know what I mean? And I found it amazing,
Yeah.
you know. And I don't know, I started making these videos back in like 2007, 2008. This is when I was in medical school and I was just trying to figure out my life, and uh I needed an outlet. And
Yeah.
I just made the videos and they became super famous and they're like known all around the world, like everywhere.
Right.
UK, Australia, Canada, obviously where all the Egyptian diaspora is, obviously.
Right.
And I started doing that. And then once I graduated medical school, and then I started taking my boards, life got a little bit more serious. And then obviously I went through the revolution in Egypt, which was a whole nother crazy
You
mess.
were there for that?
Oh yeah, I was there for all of the Arab Spring.
No way! Oh, I didn't know that. That's
Yeah, it was nuts, man.
crazy.
It was a very pivotal point in my life, to be honest. Like, I feel like that's when things went from funny to serious in my life,
Yeah. Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
And also that's when Bassem Youssef started raising up. And
Yeah.
then I went, okay, I'm like, okay, you know what? The Egyptians now have a voice. I don't need to make these videos. I don't need to do this,
Yeah, yeah.
and there was a lot of things going on where I just like, you know what, why I don't need to do this anymore. And or maybe I wanted to, but there was also the part of me that the medical world was like, okay, Tony, you got to finish your boards. You
Right,
got to do all these things to, now be a doctor in the United States. So that was
right.
kind of the whole situation. So I at that point, that's when I was started doing these medical missions and then going around and taking these photos.
Wow.
But, I don't know, I just go to document. I just
Yeah.
go to take photos around. I'm
Right,
not
right.
trying to do anything with it. I wasn't even on Instagram at the time. I don't think I was just like Facebook because that was the cool thing to do, right? Back in the
Right.
day, right? So, we did all that. So, um, and people were like, "Holy crap, Tony, these are beautiful photos.
Yeah.
What kind of camera do you have?" And I'm like, "I don't nothing, just a small point and shoot camera." And they're like,
Uh,
"You need a professional camera." And that's how it all started.
what year is that?
So between starting all of the photos was probably about 2014, 2015.
Okay.
And
Wow.
then, that's when I was doing all the medical missions, and then when I first got my first professional camera was end of 2016.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very, very cool. And do you remember your first I always I always wonder about this. Do you remember your first photo that you got a lot of just like feedback about where you're like, "Oh, yeah, everybody takes pictures, but I'm maybe
Yeah.
doing something a little different."
Um, so it was actually Morocco,
Uh,
and it was to tell you the truth, this was crazy enough, it was actually my first solo trip, so I was on my own.
wow.
So usually I usually travel with people or with friends or, family, whatever works, right?
Right, right.
Whatever comes my way. Um, but this time it was on my own. It was on my first trip. I still had that little point and shoot, and I spent a good, I don't know, I want to say it was a week and a half maybe in Morocco.
Uh,
And those were the shots that kind of just like hit it off the hit it
that's
off. Right. And I knew there was something in me already, like when I was doing those videos, like the Egyptian videos back in the day.
yeah.
I made a Cairo life video, which was literally oh, that's my dog, by the way.
Yeah.
Uh, it was a Cairo life video, where I made this. I went around Cairo for like 3 weeks filming, and my friend Peter Namus was helping me. He was also in Egypt doing pharmacy at the time.
Yeah.
Um, and we did this thing where went around Egypt. We filmed for 3 weeks, and I knew, and I did the whole film. Like I stationed the camera, and I said, Peter, just press play, just
Yeah.
press record, and we're gonna do this from here, right? Like so I was really good at like composing and stuff
Yeah.
like that, but like I didn't realize it was an actual thing until people were like, "These are amazing, da da da. You're such a good photographer. You should do something." Da, 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 da," and that's how it started. So
That's
Morocco, I'd say was the key thing with all the photos. It wasn't just one or two. I think it
yeah,
was
yeah.
just like a bunch of because I back in the day you had Facebook albums and
Right.
it was like a thing or you put
Yeah.
all yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah, and that's how kind of people discovered, right? Like through
mm,
these albums, right?
right,
They would go through an entire album
right,
altogether. But a
right.
little different than now, right? We go through like these posts that might have, 10 pictures or something.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
but and don't forget Instagram at one point was just only one photo. You would only
Yeah.
be able to
Yeah.
post one photo at one
Right.
time.
Right.
So it's changed a lot since then. But yeah, that was it started like that. It started with, people on Facebook seeing these things and they're all like family and friends.
Yeah.
And then I think around 2014, 2015, or I started to make that Instagram public,
Yeah.
and then I started from there.
Very cool. I'm curious, how does that like in being in Egypt during the Arab Spring, how does it like change the way you see kind of like the world, how does it change your creative mind, right? If you want to, if I can
I mean,
call
I
it.
think the creative mind's always there, but I think it's the attitude that it comes out is different.
Yeah.
So creativity is always there. You're a creative. We're all creatives. It's
Yeah.
all how you choose to use it, right? You could cook. You be a cook. You could be a creatives are creatives. I mean,
Right.
it's right. But it's the way it comes out can change. So I
Uh,
feel like um the Arab Spring made life a little bit more serious. I think it's like what was a very life and death situation. I mean, I was going down there and we had to protect our neighborhoods
yeah. Yeah.
from
I heard
battles
about that.
because it was complete anarchy. You'd
Yeah.
wake up in
Yeah.
the morning, there was gunshots and fires billowing, smoke coming out of random places. I saw from my balcony. I was like, "What is going on in this place?" Right?
Wow.
And I was very lucky because it was end. I already finished school, and I only had and it was, like, then 2 months afterwards. Like, I already graduated at that point, and then I'm like, "Oh, let me just study for boards while I'm here."
Yeah.
Bad idea. It was actually good. I mean, it was a cool experience for what it was, but, like,
Right.
dude, I almost got shot at, or actually I did get shot at, but, like, it's
Jeez.
crazy. Like, you could die at any second kind of situation, and I feel, you're down there. I remember, I had a bat it was a plastic bat because you can't really fly with metal bats. So I remember bringing a plastic bat or something. I don't remember. I was when I was a kid. We have a house in Egypt,
Right.
so we'd always come back and bring stuff there. And I had this plastic bat, and I remember going downstairs, filling it with sand. I cut it open, and I filled it with sand, and then I capped it off with duct tape, and then I put pieces of glass on it just in case. Yeah,
Oh
as
my
weapons, dude. Yeah,
god.
dude, it's that serious. Like, it was crazy because
Yeah.
no one really has guns, and then when you do get shot, it's crazy. But, like, Egypt doesn't really have a lot of guns, right? So now it's always a hand to hand combat kind of situation. So we had a legna, our own little legna, which is, like, a little stopping.
Council, yeah.
Yeah, where we stop people and check their IDs, and they would come into the street and make sure they live nearby. And it
God.
was a very crazy experience. And I've also went to Tahrir too because I had to get oh my god. Before I left, I found out my mom was calling. Everyone's freaking out. The phones are off. Your mobile wasn't working, the internet wasn't working, right? This is when Egypt was like, you're not
Yeah.
no
Yeah,
one's
yeah.
this information is not getting out into
Yeah,
outside.
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
And so, uh, at that time, it was crazy because, my family wanted me to leave, and I was the only one there at this point, right? Like,
Right.
everyone was like, "You need to come home. You need to come home." Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, sure, sure, sure. I'll get." And I found out that my passport was expired, so I couldn't even leave. So
No.
I had to
God.
go to Tahrir, which is where the American embassy is located,
Oh my
and I had to
god.
go during the day after, which was like they call it the Camels Day, where the guys came in and the camels came in, and they were
Oh,
set.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
went
Yo.
the day after, and it was crazy because they didn't want photographers. They didn't want nobody was out
Of
that point.
course.
Yeah, everyone was pissed off at the photographers and
Oh
all this
my
stuff.
god.
And so I had to go the day after, and I remember walking through Tahrir, seeing tanks on fire, and and I'm just like, "What is happening?" And I got an emergency passport, and I left, like, maybe 2 days later. And it was, again, dude, crazy ass experience, man. It was crazy. It was
That's
crazy.
yeah, no, that's nuts. I think because like, we have so much family in Egypt,
Yeah.
right? So my parents would say, "Yeah, like, your cousins are currently in the street guarding their street."
Yeah.
I was like, "What do you" I was like, "Come on, what do
Yeah,
you
no,
actually
it's real. It was a real thing, man.
what do you
Everyone
mean
was
by that?" And you're
it
no, like, people are sitting I remember they would take shifts, right? Everybody
Yes,
in the neighborhood would take shifts on their
yes,
block
yes,
and cover their street from both ends to
correct.
make sure nobody that doesn't live there
Yeah.
can get through.
And isn't that funny how that was a thing that's covered everywhere? It wasn't like it's like Egyptians knew automatically to do that. There was no, like, everyone in every neighborhood was doing that. There wasn't like,
Yo.
it's interesting how that worked out. It's funny, and we used to have build a bonfire in the middle of the streets, all the men, and then the tons of the area would come down with the cookies and tea, and they were like, "Oh, who do you?" And they would feed us
Yo.
and stuff. It was great. It was sweet, and it was very. I had neighbors that I didn't even know existed, and they
Yeah.
knew who I was. I was the American Egyptian driving around, coming in, causing troubles.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
they knew me. I didn't know them, which I thought was really interesting. But then you really realize how Egyptians work when you live in their neighborhoods. They're kind of
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
always
like,
watching.
they see everything.
They see everything, man, and everything knows. Oh, you're the doctor. You're the American Egyptian doctor kid. I'm like, I guess so. I'm like, who the heck are you?
Yo, that's wild, man.
Yeah,
That's a
crazy
really
experience.
that's a really cool experience. So, okay, so 2016, you pick up your first legit camera,
Yeah.
and what's the next move like? Are you still in medicine? Are you like, "Hey, I'm going all in on photography?"
So
What's that like?
I wanted to buy just to see where I was gonna go, just for fun.
Yeah.
Um, and then that 2017, I was gonna find out if I matched for a residency.
Mm, the faithful match day.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so when I started doing these medical missions, this was I was trying to get my CV up, check it out. I'm doing medical missions. I'm
Yeah,
going around the world. I'm helping
yeah.
people, woo, and then
I'm a philanthropist.
yeah, hey, that's the thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. I'm doing work outside. I'm volunteering
yeah, yeah,
my expertise, in different places. And I was traveling with Mana, actually. I was doing a bunch of those
yeah,
ones.
yeah.
And that I think I was trying to, again, boost my CV. So when I get to the match it, and I did not match.
Okay.
So that was March of 2017, right? So I'm like building out this thing. I'm trying to figure this out.
Yeah.
And March of 2017, I was just like, okay, man, I need to get out of here. Like,
Mm.
like I need to like get out of the States for a little bit. I need to travel and I need to see, and I want to see if I could take this camera and be you know, a cool photographer or a established photographer by traveling the world. And then I went on my like little eat, pray, love trip.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's when I went to Asia for like 3 months. And when I say Asia, I mean, I went down, I went from Japan all the way down to Indonesia for 8 countries, 3 months, like 2.5 months, something like that. And it was like,
Mm.
it was a, it was a very eye-opening experience for me. And I definitely saw the world in a different eye, and I did most of it solo.
Wow.
So it was a thing where I was just, again, trying to find myself and trying to find space and trying to find who I am. And
Were you trying to figure out if you're gonna go and try to apply again or
yeah, no, and there was just a lot of things happening.
yeah,
Did I want to continue try the clinical route? Did I want to try doing it pharmaceuticals? Did I want to try to
yeah,
do, all these different things, like just trying to see what I'm going to do? Because I had an MD,
yeah.
right? Now,
Yeah,
what do I
right,
do with it, right? What do I do with this thing now, right? Like,
right.
um, but for some reason, I did come back. It was probably like, I don't know, was that September or something? And then I found a job because I was going to go become like this medical science liaison. It was like an MSL thing. This is like where most doctors and pharmacists do when they don't want to be clinical. So what happens is they basically are um, glorified sales reps.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, but because you have a medical background, you're able to talk medicine
Right,
with the other doctors or whoever is going to buy the medication or the devices or whatever works, right?
right.
And so that was the route I was going.
Mm,
But something happened. I don't know. I remember getting this job and I hated it. And I was just like, why am I even doing this? I'm like, why am I even doing this? But
yeah.
then in that meantime, in that year, this is 2018 now. So like in 2018, I was like, okay, I'm going to get this job. I'm going to continue trying to do this. But in that year, I decided to do other things as well. So I started to have an art show, and I decided to submit a photo to National Geographic,
Mm,
and I just
yeah,
wanted to see what happens.
yeah, yeah.
I sold out the art show.
Wow,
I won the competition in National Geographic, and
wow.
then I was like, okay, type. If God is giving me something that,
Yeah,
and I'm not receiving in this end, why am
yeah,
I still? Why am I pushing?
yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah.
and it's like, okay, maybe I need to go this route instead, and then see where it goes, you know. And you try so hard, man. I tried God knows how many years, I was doing all that medical stuff, and
So
it just
hard.
wasn't going my way.
Wow.
And I don't, it's tough, when you think, okay, this is what I have to do, right? It's expected of me to be
Yeah,
this
yeah,
person, to be the doctor and raise the family and do the thing and
yeah,
do the typical, I call it the Egyptian protocol. This is what, where you got to follow through and see what it is.
yeah.
And so, that's when I was like, you know what? Let's see where this goes.
That's
And
cool.
then boom, 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 boom. 2019, I started traveling. Da, da, da. I traveled, bro. I was like 12 countries, I think it did in 2019. And I would
Yeah.
stay in these countries for like months at a time. So like I was just trying to uh, you know, give it its full due. And I'm glad I did it because obviously 2020 went,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Couldn't
So
go anywhere.
yeah.
Plus
Right. So then 2020 came around and you're just like,
wait,
okay,
so you were actually the person that brought COVID back?
let's not talk about that because I think I did. I think I did, by the way. Let's not even say it. I don't. I've all told this people in private, but now I might as well just throw it
I
out there.
think
It's
it
fine
was me.
now. Doesn't matter, Khalas. It doesn't matter. But I will. I'm not joking when I say this. End of 2019.
Oh God.
You had to say it. Khalas is
Go,
written on it.
go, just
I'm
go.
gonna put it out there. This is what happened. Okay, 2019. I'm in. Where did I go? I went to Thailand, Philippines, Singapore, and Hong Kong.
Oh God. And
Where
Hong Kong?
all
Oh
all of
God.
it is. Okay. I swear to you, I came home right before Christmas. This is January 2019.
You were like dying. You were literally on your
I was on the plane. Okay.
oh
Before I got on
man.
the plane, I remember sitting in Hong Kong, this beautiful bowl of ramen in front of me. Okay. And I'm ready to, and I'm sweating and I'm like, my nose is plugged. And I'm like, what is going on? I'm like, what? I can't. And I promise you, Mina, I couldn't taste, I, I couldn't taste anything. And when you kind of like blow your nose
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
enough to like, oh, I can get a taste.
Yeah,
No,
nothing.
none, got nothing. So I was like, okay, maybe I could have been that guy.
Yeah, yeah,
I did bring it home. I don't know. It was January 2019. I don't
yeah.
know.
Well, we still didn't know at that
It
time,
was
so
January 2020. That's what it was. It was like I came in. Phew.
yo, that's funny, man.
Yeah, dude. I remember not tasting anything. I said, "This is whatever this is bad."
Wow.
And yeah.
But
But
thankfully to your point, like thankfully you left in 2019, you did this tour, right? Of like these countries
yes.
and you got that opportunity because I think that
Oh my
also
god.
probably would have changed things like your perspective, your skills, and all of that stuff,
Oh
right?
yeah. No, that's when I felt like my skills were the best at that point. When I was
Uh,
just killing it and
yeah,
just
yeah,
continuous. And then 2020 is when I finally got to sit down with my work, which was another thing.
right,
And I got to like, put together a portfolio because I just kept shooting. I didn't really post a lot and I
right,
just wanted to go and go and go and go. And then that's when, yeah, that's 2020 was a nice time to sit down finally,
yeah,
even
kind of
though it wasn't,
reflect,
but I got to see my work. Like I
yeah,
remember, oh yeah, I remember taking that image. I totally forgot to like,
yeah, yeah.
put it out there, but I did a lot of work that year.
When you say okay, I went to all of these different countries. I think you said 6 countries in 2019, right?
12.
Maybe 12. Okay, you said
Yeah.
12. So, and like you're entrenching yourself in the culture. Like,
Yeah.
what are you doing for like 12 months as a photographer, like a whole year? What are you doing in each country? Like, what are you looking for?
Oh, I'm just looking. I'm just going around. I don't have purpose. I usually kind of like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I have to do the tourist things just to get out of the way,
Yeah, yeah,
you know? But the funny thing is that I'm doing something where the tourists are taking pictures of certain things and I'm taking pictures of the tourists,
yeah, yeah.
you know? Or I'm taking pictures of the things that are happening in those tourist areas. Like
uh,
people are not always focusing on other people. A lot of photographers or a lot of people, a lot of tourists are focusing on themselves and the time that they're having.
uh,
A selfie here, or a selfie here, or that. You know what I mean? There's not. I know. Oh, I took a picture of the main monument or whatever, and that
yeah,
is usually the case, and that's what's happening.
yeah,
I want to capture the culture that's in these places, or
yeah.
the people that are in these places, because that's what makes this place.
Mm.
That's kind of what I want to do, and that's what makes a place a place. Like the Egypt is Egypt because of the Egyptians.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You
Right,
know,
right, right.
it's what makes that place, and that's why you always see these comments about Egypt, like, oh, a bunch of scammers. Oh no, they're best people in the world. Like you always see arguments, and it's just because it depends who you are as a person,
Yeah, yeah.
how you put yourself in these countries.
Uh,
So for when I travel, I I end up just walking around, and the next thing you know, I'm just lost, and I don't mind being lost because it's okay. Like
mm,
I'll be fine. Again, faith brings me into these places, and I know
yeah,
I'll be okay.
yeah,
And I've traveled enough to see people being scammed, people being robbed, people being, you know what I mean? You
yeah.
see it, and you're just like, I know when someone is coming my way and wanting something from me.
Right.
Also, I lived in Egypt, so I know very well when someone wants something from me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I'm like, okay, what is it that you need, bro?
yeah.
Like, and you could just tell. if someone wants something, in a negative way or whatever situations, and
Uh,
I just walk the streets. I just walk,
yeah.
and then hopefully, inshallah, I find my way home.
Yeah. That's really cool.
Yeah, yeah,
That's really cool. Because honestly, like, yeah, when I go and I just did a trip with my wife. When
yeah,
we go and travel, we're going with a purpose. There's specific things we wanna see.
yeah,
Everything's kinda mapped out. We have an itinerary.
yeah,
And, like, yeah, for a photographer like yourself, like, to really, I guess, capture the essence of
yeah.
the people and the country, it's like walking without, any sort of guide or navigation or whatever,
Yes,
is
yeah,
really where you
yeah,
really find the
yeah.
people.
You find the real life
Mm.
because most of the time, okay, I'll even give you a perfect example.
Yeah,
Have you ever flown into Egypt?
yeah,
And then there's Sarah Salem, which is like this one street that gets out of the airport and straight
yeah,
out. It's
yeah,
the most beautiful street.
yeah,
Veer off this way, veer off that way, it turns to Zabana, it turns to shit.
yeah,
But it is what it
yeah,
is.
yeah,
And
yeah.
it's
Just
because
turns into chaos, yeah,
right, because but it also the Egypt wants you to see the government wants you to see the beauty.
yeah,
And that beauty can take you straight onto the highway and then to your hotel.
yeah,
You
right,
won't
right,
notice. You won't notice.
right. Oh,
But,
interesting.
like, if you take your time to, like, wander off a little bit, I actually find more beauty in those places rather than that because
Yeah.
it's not manufactured.
Yeah. We talked about this actually, funny enough, like, I
Yeah.
I remember, um, we were talking about Egypt, and I was like, "Oh, yeah, they have such, like, nice new places," and you're like, I hate those places."
Yeah, I
I
hate
was
them.
like, "I
I
actually
hate
kinda
them.
like those, I'm pretty basic, and, like,
Y
I like, pumpkin spice lattes and stuff."
You
And you're
can
like,
love pumpkin spice lattes, but I want Ahmed inside the tiny shop to make it for me,
"To
not
make."
Starbucks. Yeah, I don't wanna go to Egypt and find a Five Guys, okay?
Yeah,
That's not what
yeah,
I
yeah,
want. Like,
yeah,
I don't like this globalization thing that's happening because
yeah.
kinda destroys what travel is all about.
Right, right.
All you're doing is taking your bubble and bringing it somewhere else, and you're not allowing yourself to go out of it,
Yeah.
which is I remember, in my during my Asia trip, I remember meeting this woman who wanted to, she stayed at her intercontinental hotel.
Yeah.
She ate her chicken Caesar salads. We were in, like, Vietnam and Bali. I was just like, "Why are you here? Why are you here?
Yeah, yeah,
Are you
yeah,
coming to travel or are you coming to just bring your bubble with you? You got chicken Caesar salad in Bali?
yeah.
Why? That's not what they eat here, you
Right,
know?
right, right.
Try something else. Why are you
Yeah.
like, why travel 8,000 miles away just to do the same thing you're doing at home?
Yeah, no, I feel like you're speaking exactly to me, and I think
Yeah. Well,
I
I think it's to everybody, dude. There's a huge amount of people that don't
yeah,
want to really understand where they are going, and they're more of worried about I don't know. It's not. It's like I want to have a vacation, but I wanted to have it my way. And
yeah.
instead of just understanding where you're going, and I think that a lot of the saints they are, what's his name? Yeah, St. Augustine. Traveling is like reading a book where staying in one place means you only read one page. But exploring
Oh,
the world lets you experience all its stories, cultures, perspectives, and making your understanding of life richer and broadening your mind.
I love that.
So this is the, I think that that was part of my, understanding of life because, you see these beautiful books back in the day. I used to read like when I was a kid, I used to have these National Geographic magazines.
Yeah,
I'm like, what cool cultures are these? What cool places these are?
yeah,
But
yeah,
if we do this thing where I go to Egypt and I go see Cairo, was it Cairo Festival City?
yeah,
It's this gigantic place. And there's just gigantic IKEA. I'm like, why am I here? I didn't come to Egypt to go to IKEA. Like, I
yeah,
understand Egyptians need it for their
yeah,
own, but like I had a friend, she's like, oh, let's go have sushi here. I'm like, why? I'm in Egypt. I want like tarb.
shawarma, yeah,
I want tarb from the guy in the
yeah,
street,
yeah, yeah.
and
I want
you know,
kibda. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
I want like I want a proper experience,
yeah,
and this is where you realize how people live and how people do things because
uh,
you're doing something that is not of your own, and that rips away your ego. It rips away your who you are because you
mhm.
realize the world is a bigger and bigger place.
Mm.
And we should give it love and understanding, because this is what opens our minds and our horizons of what the world is really like.
Yeah.
And then understanding our fellow neighbors in that, and because these are also people who are us.
Right.
But if we put our bubble, they're always going to be strangers.
Mm.
They're
Yeah.
always going to be different people that we might not understand.
Right.
And again, we live in that kind of world where not having an understanding of people will also cause fear, and that fear leads to hatred,
Yeah.
because you
Yeah.
might not know, and you're like, I'm afraid of this person, so I'm always in defense mode, and that's
Right.
that's where this comes in.
Yeah. And you talked a lot about that type of shifting our perspectives in your TEDx talk. I think
Yeah,
you
because
you re-
yeah, I think that's important to talk about. I mean, honestly, that's my way of life, and it's like, and it's when I was invited to do the TED Talk, I was just like, what am I going to talk about?
yeah.
And I think it was difficult, because I wanted to say, okay, I did medical school. I did like what we've done here pretty much, but in longer situations, right?
Yeah.
Because they're like, hey, you have about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait, you want me to talk about like everything I know and how to tell people these, and like, and also have them come away with it without sounding preachy? Like, how do I
Right.
do this? Right.
Right.
So I think it's very important for people to have an understanding and travel well and travel with intention, instead
Mm.
of I will go and I sit in my 5-star resort, and like, I understand there's vacations. Go take your vacations. Go stay on a beach, take your vacation, if life is stressful, understandable.
Yeah.
But if you're going to travel, and I mean travel, not just be a tourist, go go into the world. You will see, and notice that it's not all bad, because everyone's out there,
Yeah.
and they're just like us. So I think
Yeah.
that's why I made it a point to talk about in my TED talk.
Yeah. And I think one, I need to do this more first and foremost. I was
Yeah.
just joking around with my wife. It's like,
Yeah.
man, you're such a fancy traveler. Like
Yeah.
everything has to be like this nice hotel and this
Yeah.
and that. And I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, I just want to feel like I'm on vacation.
Yeah.
But I think you're right. Like there is a difference between vacation and
Yes.
like going for rest versus
Yes.
going to explore
Correct.
and
Correct.
really entrench
Correct.
yourself and know the world
Yes.
better.
Yeah. There's the thing is, vacation can be, that's why they're called staycations too, right? You can
Yeah,
go
yeah,
here and you can go get a nice hotel in your own city and
yeah,
still enjoy yourself and have that peace of mind. But if
yeah,
you're actually like traveling, like, and I say, when I think there's again a difference between vacation and traveling.
yeah,
I think vacation is one thing. I think traveling is another. And if you're traveling, you are a sojourner. This is what you are in this place. You're trying to figure out who's around you, what you're doing, and so on and so on. But when you're in vacation, you're on vacation. Your peace is that you're resting your mind and you're resting your body. And I understand that for many people who have stressful lives. And I think that's why it's okay.
yeah,
But take some time, especially during your vacation, to do something that's probably will help the community as well. Just being out there and noticing them and
yeah.
respecting them. That's the thing. Like, how many places have you been to where you learned the language? How many words have you learned? Would you go and try to learn? That's what you
I learned like 3 in France,
Yeah,
like
that's
merci and
I think
bonjour.
you're huh?
Merci and bonjour
Yeah,
and
your typical place, and thank you.
bonsoir, bonsoir. I learned bonsoir. That's actually big. Bonsoir is big.
What's for
Yeah,
sure. Oh,
yeah. Bonsoir is big.
you know what I learned? Okay, you know what's crazy? You know what I learned in French? And
Yeah.
I use this every time, is guimauve.
Guimauve?
Yeah, which means marshmallow.
Marsh, perfect. That's actually some 4 now.
But the thing is, every time I'm in France or in places where they speak French, and I say guimauve, like, how did you know that?
Yeah.
You surprise them, because you're not
Yeah,
your typical tourist. Like, these things. But you learn these words and you learn these things just because you are you're technically in their land.
right.
But if you come from Chicago, New York, whatever, LA, all these, places, and you leave and you come to there, and all you learn is hello and goodbye, come on, man. You gotta try at least 10. Give yourself 10 words.
I like that. I like that challenge. Give
Yes.
yourself 10 words.
Give
Learn 10
yourself
words.
10 words. And mine is other, obviously, than the hello and please and thank you
Yeah.
is one of my favorites is that's delicious.
Ah, I
or
like that.
this, or that's beautiful,
Okay.
or yeah, like give yourself something, and then give yourself a really random weird word, and then and I mean, even though this is a very nice podcast, I usually try to learn one swear word too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, it's important because what if somebody upsets you? Yeah.
Just in case, and because they also would laugh at you that you know it too. It's like
Yeah, yeah.
you don't ever say whether you never actually say it with bad intentions. You say
Yeah.
it's
No, if you hit them with marshmallow and then right after, just like
right.
go to
Once
hell.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so, I think it's important to travel with intention, man. It's important to in immerse yourself in these communities or in these people, so you have an understanding that they're your brothers and sisters.
I love that. Yeah, I think yeah, traveling definitely connects you more with I think just the way God meant for people to kind of
Yeah,
live together, right? With
yeah,
in 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 like the unity, in the love that like I
yes.
think he meant for us to experience, and we kind of just ruined it with a lot of kind of like destruction, division, and all this other
Ego,
ego.
ego,
Yeah, yeah,
ego,
and pride. Yeah, yeah,
ego what it is. Like, my favorite, when there's always this comment that Jesus saves, right? But Jesus is saving you from yourself.
yeah, yeah,
That's the way that you should be thinking about it. People don't really get it, but it's yes, he saves you from your own ego
yeah,
to make sure you realize this unity that we have with everyone is that's why we have communion.
yeah.
Literally, this is why we have communion.
That's why it's called communion. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Straight up.
Yeah.
What's your most proud moment as a photographer?
Dude, I mean, obviously it's the TED Talk,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
but
Because it's it was the culmination, right?
it's all of the things. So like one was right when I say I sold out that art show, that was number one.
Yeah,
And
that was
then
big.
again, National Geographic, that became another. That Time Magazine, that came another one. Adobe, you know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah,
constantly moving. You're always going to be, you know, I, you know, you keep on rate going higher and higher, and then it just, that's just where it goes. Just keep moving.
yeah,
And so, I think it's. I think the beginning was that. I think that it starts off like that. It started with the first thing,
yeah,
which is back in the day where I sold that art show where my friends were buying my work.
yeah.
That's how
That's how you start.
feel
Yeah,
good, right? So it could start somewhere like that, and now you could say this, but then next year might be something different. It
yeah,
changes. Like your that same question can go for you for whatever you do in your life, right? It's
yeah,
good, always good to continuously change.
yeah, for sure.
'Cause we're in flux, man. We're just continuously moving. So I feel like if it's just one thing, then you're always just gonna live in the past. Just continue
Yeah.
moving. Yeah.
What happens when you feel kind of stagnant? Like you ever feel stagnant with
Oh
your
yeah.
work?
Oh yeah. Plenty of time.
What do you do?
I wait. I wait.
I like that.
I'll give you a perfect example when I was stagnant.
Yeah.
This is in end of 2023. I broke my leg in the Galapagos Islands.
Damn.
Okay, so this is like one place where you don't want to break your foot,
Yeah.
your leg. Okay, this is not the best place to do it because it's zero technology.
Yeah.
And I was out for like a good 6 months. Like I couldn't move for at least 3 or 4, and then after that, then I was like walking on a in a cast thing for like another 3 months after that. And that's when you really do feel stuck. I mean, I really couldn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
And it was a pretty bad time in my life. I was pretty depressed because it's like I can't get up and move and I can't get whatever. But then in my head, I finally came to this conclusion, and it's this, I guess, an enlightening time where I was just like, maybe this is where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah.
And I think that's it's a way to like obviously justify it in its own terms, but like you can always say, "Oh yeah, this is how
This is
it's
meant to
meant to
be.
be."
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is Uh, but I did feel that like I think I had to slow down, just like 2020 for me. I had to slow down. Like
Yeah.
the whole world had to slow down. But you know what I mean? Like it was like
Yeah.
you had to slow down, and you just okay. This is the time where I just need to reflect, understand my life, where I've been, what I've been doing, and then that will help you move forward.
Mm.
And I think at that time, it sucks at first, man. When you feel like you're stuck,
Yeah.
it sucks. It's a horrible feeling because you feel like you're not moving anywhere in life.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you take the time to, I guess, look at through all the beautiful things that you have done in your life, all the good things you have done in your life, whatever, 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 sooner or later that time passes and then you're ready to move again. So I
Yeah.
think it's good to just give it its fair due. I think, you know,
I love that.
yeah, give it time. Give whatever it is. When you feel stuck, you'll be soon unstuck. This too shall pass, right?
Yeah.
It will be unstuck sooner or later.
Yeah.
You feel stuck for too long? I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
Like I don't know where to go for that one. But if you do, then try to do something completely different than what you're actually doing.
Yeah.
If you feel stuck, then try something different. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know we're coming up on time, but I wanted to just ask a couple of like last questions. What's your most proud photo? The photo you're most proud of, photos you're like, man, that was different. That was iconic.
Okay. So there's two. There's technically two
Okay.
because one is one of the main moments in my life where I realize I can do what I need to do. Um, and I don't know if you're going to put this in the thing. I don't know
Yeah,
how
I'm
you.
going to. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I'll send it to you later, I guess. But
Okay.
it's a photo of. Let me see if I can find it. I'm gonna put it on the screen really quickly, and then you can do whatever you need to do afterwards.
Yeah.
But it is a photo of a kid that's going through this. Um, and I'm pretty sure I put it in my TED talk. It was it's this photo right here. Oh, focus. Where there's
Yeah, I
no.
see it. Yeah.
Okay, I'll send it to you
Yeah, I
afterwards.
remember that. Yeah.
But the story behind this photo is kind of crazy. It's because I went to that white temple in Myanmar and Burma to look
Uh,
for these little red monks that I kept seeing in all these photos.
yeah.
And you kept seeing them on Instagram. They're like, oh, there's little red monks running around, like these little kids, and they have this little red thing, and they're beautiful, beautiful, beautiful photos.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, I can't wait to go there and see them for myself.
Yeah.
I get there. There's no children. I said, Fee, what's the deal? Where are these kids at, man? Because
Yeah.
I wanted this shot,
Yeah.
right?
Should be
Uh,
kids.
and then I get there and I find out that these kids are rented for the day.
Oh, wow.
And they're all posed and they're all acted shots. None of them are real. They're all fake shots.
Wow.
And I'm just like, you gotta be kidding me. I'm like sad. Now everything I thought about being a photographer really like it blew my world up. Like this is burst my bubble. Like I
Yeah,
get
yeah.
there and
Is
I'm just like,
everything just staged? Yeah.
and I'm like, there's no way. Like all these guys that I know fake those shots,
Yeah.
pose those shots. And I was so sad. And I was just like, this kind of like ruined photography for me for a second. And I was just like, you know what? Whatever. I'm just gonna try to enjoy the day. And I swear to you, the next second, right after that happened, this kid in red runs. We're in this thing and he's running right past me. Like he's running about to run right past me, right?
Right.
And then and I'm like, no way. And I see this red that I wanted. I wanted this contrast. But was it a kid in monk clothes? No. Was it
What?
yeah, it was just a kid in a jersey.
No
And he's
way.
just wearing
Wow.
all red, and he's running right past me, and he has the number 7 on his back. I'm like, "La Robina, this is all God right here." Like,
Oh, that's crazy.
right? Right? So you see something like that, and I'm just like, I know that I can still capture what I want to capture and the beauty in the world and the beautiful things that I wanna see or
Yeah.
whatever it is, and it'll still come past me, and it'll still
Wow.
come to me, right? So, like, that shot made me feel, "Okay, I can still do this without posing things or faking it or staging
Yeah.
these photos."
Yeah.
Because the technically, a lot of the travel photographers do that, and I was really happy with that shot, and till
That's
today,
crazy.
every art show that I've done, it is up and center every single time.
That's crazy.
Because I love to tell that story. It's like one of my best-selling shots because I tell that story. Otherwise, people love it, but, like, when I tell a story, like, "Oh my god, I need that shot now," because it really shows you how beautiful life can be,
Wow.
without trying to stage anything, and he ran right past me. This kid, like, and to the point where he's actually running so fast, both of his feet are off the ground. So it looks like he's flying, and that's why it's called Fly, because it's and that's why in my TED Talk, I talk about how it was like my leap. Like that was my journey. Like I was leaping into photography and that kind of thing. So
That's
that's
sick.
number 1.
That's sick.
That's the number 1. That's number 1. Number 2, let me see if I can find that one too. Number 2 is a shot that I took in India, um, where what was it? There was these guys that were kind of just sitting in one space,
Mm.
and I was like, "Oh, this is such a cool. This is I oh, let me find it. They were sitting in this space. I'll show it to you later. But
Okay.
basically what happens is there's these I remember walking up to this area in India, and these guys were so symmetrical. And I was like, it was like they were placed there. Like, and I'm like, how is this real? Is this real life? Do I live in a simulation? Like, I'm like, I don't understand how you guys are so beautifully composed
Yeah.
here in this space. And I usually, like, it's like I try to capture people moving, I try to capture, but this time I was just looked at them, I said, "Just don't move." And I took the picture, and it's my favorite shot. But does it ever sell? No, it never sells. No one ever buys it. No one ever buys them, but I find it gorgeous, and I find it beautiful because it in that space and time, it was as if, you know, this is how beautiful life can be and how artistic it can be and how gorgeous it can be just by letting life be. And I just happened to be at the right place at the right time, you know?
That's really
And,
cool.
it was a magical moment for me, but
Why
I
why why do you think it sells though?
why it doesn't sell?
Yeah.
Meh,
'Cause they don't
I
like
don't
the
know.
story or what?
I don't know. It's just it's a picture of Indian men just hanging out. I mean, it doesn't look that, no one wants that
Yeah.
on their walls, to be honest.
No offense,
But
it
I
did.
love it because it was right. It's just,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it's just a bunch of Indians just hanging out, but, like, unless,
Yeah, yeah.
some people buy the postcards. I have these postcards of them. They
Yeah,
buy
yeah.
those, but, like, a big shot of it hasn't been bought yet. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's one of those things where I'm like, I know what it is, and I know I love it, and it's because it's a beautiful shot. You
That's
can even
awesome.
tell, like, there's, like, these shoes that are, like, on the and these 2 guys sleeping on the sides, and you're like, "What is this? Like, how?"
Yeah, yeah.
But I'll send it to you afterwards so you can put it up on
Yeah,
the
yeah,
to
please.
see what it is. But yeah,
That's awesome.
those are my 2 favorite shots.
Yeah, and I'd love to just I guess my final question is like, where do you kinda what's next for you?
I would love to get a book out. That's the next step.
Very cool.
I feel like my portfolio is big enough now, um, to do something like that, only
Nice.
because I remember in the beginning when I first started, and I kept asking friends and stuff. They're like, "What do you do? How do you, well, like, what do I do to, like, be a good photographer? Like, get a portfolio, like, work,
Yeah.
get your work out, do more work. Just keep taking pictures, take pictures until you get amazing situations, and then, and I think I have it. I think I've culminated enough now to I can make a book out of it.
Nice.
That's one. Two. Now that I did this TED thing, I'm like, maybe public speaking is something that I'd like to do.
You're very good at it, so
I mean, oh, that was all, dude. That
you're very good at it.
that I was very, very nervous, to be honest. So, like,
Well, I hope you do more because we need more of that messaging of
yeah,
like love
yeah. I mean,
and
I would love to do the same. I just don't know who's going to give me the platform to do it, or do I make my own platform? I don't know. Um,
well, you
and
make your
then
own platform with photography, right? So I don't know.
yeah, that's one thing. But, like, I think I'd rather be in a space talking to a bunch of
Yeah,
people.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Than just me on my camera. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Sooner or later, the stuff that you see on dude, you were scrolling, you forget half the stuff you're
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
watching.
No, for sure.
It's turned into a space where you don't even recognize what's going on anymore. Like, I don't even know who half these TikTokers and real guys are. I don't know who they are.
Yeah,
Like, I
yeah,
don't know
me
their
either.
names. I'm just
Yeah.
like, "Oh, cool. I remember that guy. Keep going. Ah, he's funny." You know what I mean? Like, you don't really get it and then you're like, and then it passes.
Yeah.
Um, and then the third thing is I've been working on speaking of philanthropy from earlier today, I'm working on what's the word I'm looking for here? It's a directory for Orthodox clinicians, but it's specifically made for mental health.
Cool.
So here, in within the Orthodox community, and I say this because I don't want it to be completely Coptic, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I want it to be
yeah,
everybody.
yeah,
Where I have a lot of priests, and they ask me like, "Well, what are we? I'm having all these kids come in, and they have all these mental issues, and I don't know what to do."
yeah.
And I used to be in psychiatry, so this is why they're asking me these questions, obviously, because
Okay.
like they're just coming out of
Yeah.
nowhere.
Well, I did actually, I never asked you what your residency was gonna be
Yeah, it was
about, so
psychiatry. So that's why I did a lot of
yeah.
work in psychiatry
Okay.
before I decided to,
Yeah, yeah.
but but I think I'm gonna start it up again. And the website's called like Theoria Wellness. It's what the name of it is. And
I like it.
I'm trying to make a directory for people to be able to have access to mental health stuff within the Orthodox community.
Amazing.
And I only say this, and I say Orthodox specifically because if someone in the Orthodox community wants a specific person to help them with things, they
Yeah,
can't technically be in the same community.
yeah.
So if I'm Coptic and I go to church, I can't be in the same church as my therapist.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You can't
Right.
do that. Technically, you shouldn't be able to do that thing. You should be able to have different ones. Now, the thing about Orthodox people in general, most of them are first and second generation.
Yeah.
We're the ones with the most problems, right? Because
Yeah.
because our parents bring us here and
Yeah, yeah.
they're
I'm
like
trying
set
to
a
figure it
certain
out.
they're set a certain way, and we're here, we're learning different things. We're like, no, that's not it, and this is not it. And
Right.
then it's constant problem.
Yeah.
And so I think the best way to do it is also have Orthodox clinicians, social workers, psychiatrists, psychologists, whatever works that way to help these other folks go that way.
That's awesome. I love these three initiatives. I will be the first one to buy your book, when it's out.
Inshallah.
So please, when you're ready to put it out, and please
Yeah.
keep public speaking, but, um yeah, I really just appreciate you kind of just sharing, coming on, and just freely talking about your experiences and what you've been up to, and
Yeah.
how photography has really, I think, transformed the way you see the world, and the way I think we should honestly it's actually transformed the way I think I should be traveling from now on. So,
Oh,
um, I love it, and I just want to say thank you so much for
oh, thank you
taking the
for
time to
having
chat.
me, man. Giving me a voice. It's great. Appreciate it.
Yeah, this is awesome, and, you're gonna continue to, I think, transform a lot of people's perspectives, so thanks so much.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you all to everyone who was able to join and, come on and chat and be on this journey with me and, Tony, on the calling code today, and really, thankful for all the support this year. This might be one of my last episodes before the new year, but, with that, looking forward to a very fruitful and blessed, 2026, for you all. God bless. Peace.